Okay guys, in this example, we're going to look at the conditional logic. So in other words, the if statements that we did in class. Okay, so here we have a flowchart. This is on the tab for cookies. And if you look at it, we have input cookies, which is the number of cookies that you're planning on eating, I guess. And then we have a decision point. So when you have a decision point, you have something like, is the number of cookies greater than 10? And if that's true, if the answer is yes, then we do one thing. And if it's not true, then we do something else. So we have a decision point. There's always going to be two options. So either yes or no. Okay, so in this case, if the answer is yes, it is strictly greater than 10, then we'll have the output of take it easy. And if it is less than 10, then we'll have the output of go for it. So, actually I have the code here already, but let's walk you through it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, again, look at the legend. And we only have one variable. Okay, so what we're going to do is declare that variable. So we declare a variable, we use dim. Then just to show you, you can call your variable almost anything. There are some rules, but here we can call it the full word cookies, dim cookies. And we don't want to eat part of a cookie, we want to eat the whole cookie. So we're not going to have single, we want it to be an integer. So dim cookies as integer. And then what we want to do is take the input. We don't really have anything set up on the sheet, so let's use an input box to do that. So in other words, we'll prompt the user and they'll then type in the number into a box. So we have cookies equals, and then our input box. So input box, in parentheses, we start with the actual prompt. So on this one, we'll say, how many cookies will you eat? Question mark. And then we follow that up with the title that we want in the box. So we can just call it cookies. Okay. So if we run it right now to see where we're at, I'm going to save it. We get a box titled cookies. How many cookies will you eat? I'm going to put in 10. Hit enter. And of course nothing happens because we haven't finished it out. Now, what we need to do is, it's either going to print out take it easy or go for it. We just have to implement the conditional logic. So in order to do that here, we're going to use as the if, then, else statements. So we're going to say if cookies is greater than 10, just like it says on the chart, then, so notice if you have if, then you've got to have then in VBA. These are the reserved words. If, then your condition, followed by then. Then what I'm going to do is, before I do anything else, I'm going to type end if so that I don't forget. This is a very common error that I see with a lot of students, is that you'll type an if statement and then you'll work on the logic and then you'll forget to put the end if statement. I've done this a bunch of times myself. So in order to prevent that from happening, I'm just going to type end if right away and then give myself a little space. So if cookies is greater than 10, then I'm going to make an indentation so that I can make it a little bit more readable. We're going to print out to the screen take it easy, so this side, and we'll use a message box to do that. So message box, all we need to do is have the prompt, so it'll just say take it easy in quotes. And then if that's not true, then we'll have the else case. So if the condition, then take it easy. Else, notice it also turns blue. Then I'm going to indent again, and this will be the case that it is no. So if, else. We'll have another message box, and it will say go for it. Okay, so we just have a simple if statement. If cookies greater than 10, then message box, take it easy, else message box, go for it, and then the actual end if. So let's run it to see if it works. How many cookies will you eat? Now what I like to do is, we have two different cases here, really. We have a case where it's greater than 10, and we have a case where it's less than 10. So let's test both. So let's say, I don't know, 20. It says take it easy. So that's good, that works. Let's run it again. How many cookies will you eat? Let's say 1. And sure enough, it says go for it. So clearly, there's some issues with the actual design of this. I mean, you can put in a negative number of cookies, and we don't have a case where it's equal to 10, but we just kind of wanted to demonstrate the logic of it. So using the if, then else, we can do that at a different time.